Hello again, and welcome to yet another episode of Listening to My Nasally Voice, also known as Majunda Minute. I'm your host, Majunda or whatever you remember me as, and it's been a while, hasn't it? But today, finally getting back into this after months of not actively participating in this, I'm here to read the patch notes of 2.22. Which one it is. Let me pull up the website. Update 2.22, update 22, the enhancement update. It's a small update. It's about new feature, mainly focused around this new feature called enhancements, genetic enhancements. We only have one new creature and two or three or so new ability. So let's just jump right into it. So first new creature is Beelzebufo. It's the also known as the Devil Toad or Devil Frog. It's a large frog from Madagascar. Lived in the Cretaceous period. Its most famous appearance in recent memory was in Prehistoric Planet. But Jurassic World Live has decided to give it a Pac-Man frog-esque thing. Also, it's an epic, and it's a flock creature, obviously, because the small creatures kind of have to be flocks. But it is a cunning tank debuffer because it features a new move called a new feature ability type called Affliction. So its moves are Cunning Strike, Feast, and Afflicting Strike, and I'll get to the abilities later. And since I mentioned it's a flock, it has Absorb, and that's the only new creature in this update. This is only focused on the new feature enhancements, which I'm gonna get into in a little bit. But let's read about. I'll read you a little bit about Affliction. Like the poison dart frogs of the Amazon, just touching the skin of Beelzebufo can have some ill effects. This creature brings a new status effect to Jurassic World Alive, Affliction. Affliction reduces opponent creature resistances for a specified number of turns, weakening their defenses. Check out Affliction status effect icon in Beelzebufo's Affliction Strike below. So Affliction, so we're all familiar with, at this point we're familiar with Disarming Strike, which is the move exclusive to a couple creatures, mainly the Direwolf, Endolycan, Enos Ionyx, and I think on the counter of Majunda of effect. It's an effect of reducing armor. Well, Affliction is similar, but instead of affecting one particular stat, it affects all resistances on a creature. So specifically for Afflicting Strike, it decreases all resistances by 15%, lasting for 2 turns. And this is, it's certainly a unique way of introducing a new kind of ability, because frankly, they were kind of running. How many more ideas can you fit into this game full of quite literally every ability idea that's already been done? So the other thing is they updated a little bit of the damage ranges, mainly with the damage terms with Strike, Impact, Rampage will begin to take on a slightly new meaning. There will where these titles previously communicated static damage values separated by a 0.5 damage multiplier. These titles will now be used to communicate any damage value within that 0.5 range. And these changes will also apply to ability icons. So this will help to combat power creep, I hope it does, and provide more flexibility in creature matchups. For example, the 2.22 ability Feast deals 1.75 times damage. This is now in the impact range, so the icon of this ability communicates an impact value. So there's going to be so the damage ranges of these attacks are going to be a little more varied. So strikes, for example, won't just be ×1; they'll be upwards of times 1.49 times, rather than just the standard times 1, and so on for each variable with strike, impact, rampage, decimation, and devastation. So it'll take a little while for people to get used to, obviously, but might add a little bit of variety and a little more variety and excitability, and hopefully might help with power creep. Yeah, there's the word I'm looking for. All right, moving on. Abilities. So new abilities, we've got Feast. It's for Beelzebub Buffos. It's a rally move, targets all opponents. Impact damage, has a cooldown of 2 and a delay of 1. Then Afflicting Strike, which I mentioned, targets opponents with most positive effects, decreases resistances by 15%. And another one, Dual Claw, 50% chance to dodge with 66% damage of direct damage, 4 turns, 2 attacks, target opponents with most positive effects, remove dodge, attack 1.5 1.75 times twice. So, and this is for, I believe, Oviraptor, because Oviraptor got a slight change, and we'll get to the creature changes later. So, genetic enhancements. I'm going to skim through this because it's a very long, complicated read, but essentially, enhancements are this new feature accessed through the creature laboratory menu. And in particular, it allows you to give these new stats slash abilities to specifically creatures, unique creatures that are at level 30. And in order to do that, you need creatures that are at 100, like around level 25, like regular creatures, like epic, rare, common creatures at level 25 with having excess DNA of them. So, and the thing is, level 25 is quite the level, so you'll have to pick and choose very carefully, or, plan ahead and go and dart specific creatures that are abundant and you don't use their DNA much of. But you'll be more or less recombining this DNA into stuff that you'll be able to use on your current creatures, your current level 30 uniques. I'm hoping that that the effects of this are only negligible, so it's not like more power creep, super boosting type stuff, even though that is more or less what some of the results we should expect from this. But this might open up some more unique strategies for some of those lesser used unique creatures out there. Who knows? But this will also be a nice use of additional, like, unused DNA of creatures you probably weren't going to use in the first place. So, oh, actually, hold on. Apparently, it also this also applies to legendaries as well, like common and legendary. So, I don't know if this will include hybrids, but maybe. Who knows? You might be able to get some good use out of fusing a lot of DNA and getting certain rare and legendary hybrids to rare, epic, legendary hybrids to a certain level, if this applies to them. So who knows? Advanced strategies. Who knows? All right. Moving on, we've got Raid Boss, and it's just Piratator is going to be re-entering the Raid circulation. It's going to be starting Friday, April 14th. And new creature rotations as Beelzebufo is going to be an event exclusive, unfortunately. And we'll start seeing it on March 29th. So what's improved? So we've got some slight creature updates. So one, Oviraptor was given the new Dual Claw ability that I mentioned earlier. Its basic sidestep is now Dual Claw. Arctops is getting Cunning Strike. Servalces is getting a health buff, health boost up to 3,300. Quetzalcoatlus is gaining a 100% resistance to distraction and a 50% speed decrease resistance. So it might make it a little more viable in like rare tournaments and rare raid battles. Moving on, Sonorosaurus has been given Group Resilient Strike, and its taunting vulnerability has been replaced with Brace. Morus Intrepidus has been given a slight damage boost up to 1,200 damage. Allosaurus Gen 2 has been given its Rending Takedown has been replaced with Instant Rend, so that might make it a little bit more of a formidable force in tournaments. Alloraptor, the only hybrid, the only legendary in this update getting a touch, was its Rending Takedown was replaced with its Cunning Ferocious Strike, and Rending Attack was added. So Alloraptor will now not only have one option for turn 1. Instead, it'll have two basic options, either a Rending Attack or Cunning Ferocious Strike, and it won't have any other like large rending moves besides its basic Rending Attack. And then finally, the only unique that was touched was Spino Constrictor, and Spino Constrictor, like Arctops, was given Cunning Strike. And that was the only change. And then bug fixes, who knows what bugs were fixed, but quite a few. Well, actually here, fixed a visual issue with a shining effect. The game should not freeze anymore when attempting to fuse two creatures. Fix an issue in which some creatures would not show their fainting animation. The creature animation should now loop appropriately during a drone session. Panthera Blitha's Swift Swapping Wound should now bypass dodge as intended. Wait, it was supposed to. Red's Berserk Resilient Rampage should now properly remove damage increased buff on opponent. Dialoricyrus' Darting Counter passive should now properly increase the creature's speed by 20%. Wait, so this thing's gonna be faster? Fantastic. Great. It was just a... Okay, so the Darting Counter did only add 10%. So, yay, get ready for Dialoricyrus to be faster than it was. Group Fortifying Impact and Healing Bellow have been modified to better reflect their behavior. The shield from Chodobo's Instant Decelerating Precision should now last 4 attacks, as stated in the description. Breakthrough ability should now properly target the highest HP opponent. And then that's all she wrote in terms of this small little update. Now, I guess moving on to my opinions of this update, it's alright. It's nothing major. I mean, new hybrids are kind of the main thing that gets me excited for an update, especially if they cater to my very specific niche of enjoyment. So since the only new thing we have is Beelzebufo, I'm excited for a frog, but a frog cannot carry an entire update for me. And its ability is cool, at least. But the enhancement feature is the main focus of this update, and it seems fine. Like, it'll be nice to give some of those lesser uniques some, like, slight increases to their stats and some more different kinds of movesets and whatnot. Might be able to open up some unique strategies. Sure, this will very, very much just make the already broken uniques more broken, but maybe, maybe some of the other uniques will be able to catch up. Who knows? We'll have to see how this feature works in full once it releases. I would assume next week on Tuesday or so. So I guess we'll see then. But other than that, this update's kind of it's whatever. The past update was, frankly, probably a little more impactful, mainly just because it was a lot of bug fixes. and I will take a bug fixing update over a broken, unworking update. So hopefully the next, whenever the next update comes around, the next couple of months, hopefully it has some more interesting content to provide rather than just one new feature, like, some new hybrids, which if you've seen all the data mined ones, they all look cool. I'd like to see them in the future sometime soon. Man, my English has been terrible today. So, with that being said, I've been Majunda, and I guess I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.